In this video, we're going to look at one of my absolute favorite tools on Microsoft Word, the ability to compare two documents to see what changes have taken place. As a teacher, when I assign a paper, that usually means I have 200 pages of reading. And if I want my students to do a first and final draft, which I usually do, then that's 400 pages of reading. And also because there's a substantial amount of time between that first draft and the final draft, I usually have to reread the first draft. So that brings me up to 600 pages of reading. And there's other stuff to do as well in the day besides just read papers. So this is a tool to help you cut down on that time, and if you're a writer, help you to see what sort of changes you're making and see if they're substantial enough to warrant that better grade you're going for after your first draft. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is open up Microsoft Word. Then you'll go to this top bar up here, your menu, and go to Review, and click Compare. And here you're not going to click Compare, you're actually going to click Combine. So that's a little confusing. Compare does something else, but Combine's a little better. Then you'll find the documents. You can use these drop-down arrows. I'm blurring the results for student privacy purposes, but the recent files you've opened have been in there, or you can use the little folder and find them how you would any sort of file. So these are two papers from me. The first paper is the original, so you want the original document in the left and the revised or final draft in the right. And once you click on this, you'll notice that you have what pretty much looks like your final document. You can scroll on down, it looks pretty normal, but then you have these red lines over on the left. And if you click on one of them, doesn't matter which one, it will show you all the changes that have been made to the document. So here you can see where different words have been added, such as a different title, and where words have been deleted. You can also see where there's bigger changes, like here you can see my whole thesis for this draft changed, as well as some different colors. You can go into more in-depth with like blue, red, and green and the different color coordinated stuff and the notes on the right, but for the most part, all you really are going to need to do is look at this. You'll be able to see where there's huge changes and then where there's maybe not been so many changes whatsoever. And this document, this is my senior thesis, so there's a lot of changes that have gone on, and the original and the final one had very different end goals in terms of the purpose I'm using them for. So most documents you look at are not going to have as many changes as this one does. So for that, let's take a look at some other examples here. Okay, here you can see that once you've compared documents on Microsoft Word, you can download them and then email them out if you want the students to see it. And even if they don't have Microsoft Word, they can still open it up. I'm on OpenOffice here because at home I'm cheap. So this is a document where you don't see a lot of little changes in the student's writing. It's pretty much some additional sentences and a couple of sentences taken out here and there, but for the most part, they've not gone through the document sentence by sentence. That would look a little bit more like this here. Here you can see the student has done some pretty substantial changes, more in-depth. Now that's not to say that the first student necessarily did anything wrong. Maybe they didn't need all these changes. Maybe they've already proofread it many, many times. But I think it's very useful for a student to see just what sort of changes take place, because as a teacher, I often find myself teaching rewriting as opposed to writing. The first significant step in becoming a great writer is to become a great editor and be willing to go beyond your first draft and search for something a little bit better from yourself. So I hope this tool proves useful for your students so they can see their edits over a progression of time, and I hope it proves useful for you as a teacher so that you can maybe reclaim some of the hours of your life. So have a wonderful day, and if you liked the video, please subscribe, check out some more videos. Would really appreciate it.